President Donald Trump says relations with Russia are at a new low. So does this contradict the theories that the Trump campaign colluded with Russia during the election? Joining us now is Jessica Tarlov. She is Democratic pollster and strategist at the Senior Director of Research at Bustle.com. Jessica, thanks for coming back here with us.
Yeah, awesome to be here. I don't know how you guys do this at this hour every day. So much makeup.
So let's talk about this.
On me, not you. You guys look great.
And you look amazing, too. Okay, so let's talk about the events of this past week. The missile attack in Syria, meetings with Secretary Tillerson and Vladimir Putin, and how those have all came out. Has this new sort of geopolitical environment, has it changed the view from Democrats about the relationship with Trump and Putin?
I don't think that it has. I think that there are two different things going on here. If you listen to Rex Tillerson and Nikki Haley, you'd get a different picture than what you get from President Trump. And he did say relations are at an all-time low. I'm not sure if that's true. They seem pretty bad after the botched Russian reset, and obviously throughout history have been arguably worse. I think it's important that he did say that, and in such a public forum, standing, toe-to-toe or side-by-side with the NATO commander, and, pledging to commit to that alliance instead of a Russian-Syrian alliance, as it were. And it's very clear that he was deeply moved by the imagery that came out of that Syrian gas attack. And I hope that that will transfer over to our refugee policy, because those people need somewhere to go to get out of there. So I think that the narrative maybe about the Russian collusion has hurt a little bit, but at the same time, we had the news from the Washington Post. There was a FISA warrant looking at Carter Page, who was part of the Trump campaign. You have Michael Flynn. You have Paul Manafort, who just registered as a foreign agent and has been linked to Russia. So I think the important thing is that we continue to get hard evidence of things, and that we keep our eyes and ears open about this. This isn't just a partisan issue. Obviously, Democrats are more enthusiastic about this narrative, but if you listen to John McCain and Lindsey Graham, Richard Burr, I think the Senate Intelligence Committee, that's a shining example of bipartisanship, actually, and working together on this, and much more than the House.
And almost everybody agreed after the our retaliation for the chemical weapons attack in Syria that Donald Trump did the right thing.
Absolutely.
I thought we touched on this earlier, that would be a kumbaya moment for both sides to kind of just
It was a couple days of it. I mean, there are going to be outliers, and there were outliers on the right there. I mean, Rand Paul said this is terrible, and a lot of Trump supporters, prominent ones, certainly in the kind of alt-right media, as it were, have now said they're done with Trump because he said he wasn't a globalist. He said we're not getting involved in other people's problems. We're focusing here at home, and, they've said now we dump Trump. He wasn't who he said he was, which a lot of people were saying on television and elsewhere throughout the campaign. This man has no clear ideology.
Yeah.
So I'm thrilled that he's moved by those kinds of images. But if you thought that this was going to be someone who was going to deliver on campaign promises, when you even consider yesterday he reversed on 4 policies, I mean, in one day.
Well, some would argue that he's learning and that he's adjusting his policies as he's coming along.
And he's not reversing when it comes to trying to repeal health care and get tax cuts implemented and a lot of the business policies.
Well, he hasn't gotten that done.
He's trying.
He may be trying, but he also is saying things like, who knew health care could be so complicated? Hillary Clinton knew that it was that complicated. And it is a reversal with China on the currency manipulator status. Apparently, NATO isn't obsolete anymore. These are things that he campaigned on. So, yeah, sure, everyone should pay their fair share, but you've got to stand strong with our allies, obviously, and, it's complicated.
Yeah, and those who support him would say that those were sort of opening shots in negotiations with countries like China.
And I support him. I mean, we should all, on both sides, do support him. Obviously, if the president succeeds, we all succeed, but...
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. Jessica Tarlov, Senior Director of Research at Bustle.com. Thanks for joining us.